Loss expected. We all expected that loss. 6 out of 6 under Frank Lampard. We thought it could not have gotten worse after Graham Potter. But now you best believe it's gotten so bad, so bad. And this particular comment from Cesc Fabregas is apt, absolutely apt. When I was little, I had a coach with 11 olives and he would throw them on the table with no tactics. This is how I see Chelsea. It's a slap in the face to Chelsea Football Club. It's a slap in the face to Frank Lampard. It's a slap in the face to everyone.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Arsenal 3, Chelsea 1. In all honesty, Arsenal probably took it easy on us. They should have been 5, 6, 7-0 at halftime. Let's talk a little bit about the match. I didn't want to talk too much about the match, but we're going to have to. It is the match review. But after that, we'll talk about more in-depth talk as to how mammoth the task is for the new manager. But in regards to the match, look, I was probably one of them. I didn't have too much complaints about the lineup. It was quite surprising to see somewhat of an attacking lineup, giving us an opportunity to, have a say in this match. Some people are getting very upset that Mudryk didn't start. I understand. Mudryk has been pretty good off the bench. And once again, in this match, Mudryk was very, very good. But I wasn't too perturbed about it. I mean, I can understand maybe Mudryk is still slowly finding his feet, into the Premier League. I'm hopeful that he starts the next game against Bournemouth. But overall, look, Sterling, Aubameyang, Madueke, Enzo Fernandez, Kovacic, Kante, midfield. Like I thought, maybe okay. Let's see if we have some sort of a miraculous opportunity to get something out of this match. But I was clearly wrong. The lineup was good, but once again, the structure, the game plan, we looked clueless from the get-go. We were boxed in. We were suffocated. Arsenal was all over us like a rash. Every time they lost the ball, they won it back immediately. We couldn't string passes together. We even gave up on our build-up. We just started to go long with Kepa, trying to find Aubameyang and see if we can get the second ball. We were playing kind of football that you see, mid-table to a lower table team play. And that's where we are, mid-table to lower table. And that's how we've been playing. We've lost all confidence in our game. And that goal from Arsenal, the first goal, you can see it coming. I was saying it all along before the goal even happened that, oh my God, they're going to score very, very soon. The thing that really hurt was how easy it was for Martin Odegaard to just ghost into the box. Kovacic loses his marker, but it's not even Kovacic's fault. When you look at the screen, there's been some screenshots of that particular moment, not just the first goal, even the second goal. Our midfield, it was so disorganized. Everything about our setup. The lineup was okay, but the setup was so disorganized. No one knew where they needed to be. Kovacic obviously not being aware of Odegaard's run. Odegaard just ghosts into the box, finds that open opportunity, puts the ball away. And even the second goal as well from Odegaard. Sterling who had to track back and mark Odegaard's run, where all of our midfielders were just marking no one. If you have a look at the footage, if you go back and check the second goal that Odegaard scored, and pause the frame when he was just about to take the shot, all of our midfielders were just in no man's land. And then the third goal from Gabriel Jesus, which was absolute a mess inside the box. Azpilicueta, what do you expect? So at that point, honestly, look, even though I expected a loss, it was hurting. Every goal was just ripping my soul away from my body. And honestly, I was close to tears to see our football club in such a shambolic position, such a mess, such a nightmare. And it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, how are we going to get out of this situation? And as I said, could have been 4, 5, 6, even 7 at halftime. But, I think Arsenal took it easy. And in the second half, 100% Arsenal did take it easy. We did come back. At least we can say happily that we won the second half 1-0. We didn't concede. I was praying in the first half, literally prayed that please, Arsenal, have some mercy on us. Don't smash us 6-7-0 here. And thankfully they didn't. Not a single player played well. Not a single player. I mean, yeah, okay, we can say Madueke, Some moments he was very, very good. There was a moment where he dribbled past 3 players and he looked really good. The goal was fantastic, obviously. Scuffed, but still nice. Kovacic's ball through was good, but there were other moments where Madueke missed time passes. Sometimes the cross was overhit. But I'm not blaming Madueke. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying overall, it's just, and it all comes down to Frank. It all comes down to Frank, the way we are set up, the way, to have a knowledge of what you want to do in the game plan. You can see the players were looking at each other like Thiago Silva was getting angry. Thiago Silva's wife, put out this tweet. Belle Silva, very difficult to see what I see on TV. At home, the situation worsens because I don't know how to help, what to say. Very sad, Thiago Silva, you aren't alone. This is actually her Twitter page. I wanted to make sure if it was her, 148K. So, it's sad times. It's sad times to see, players' wives and their partners. I'm pretty sure it would be so difficult, but it's just a sorry state of affairs at the moment. It's just a sorry state of affairs. And this is why after Graham Potter, I didn't want Frank Lampard. I'm not solely, look, how much more can I blame Frank Lampard? Look, as I've said, the biggest stakeholder here to blame is our owners. They've messed up so much. You guys saw what Kai Havertz had to say earlier before the match. Everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong. And out of nowhere, Thomas Tuchel got sacked, a successful manager. Like, these players, they did not expect Thomas Tuchel to be sacked. They didn't. And that's where it all started to go wrong. After that. Had they shown a little bit of patience, as much as patience that they showed Graham Potter, and even then, after Thomas Tuchel, they didn't go and get an elite manager. They kept on getting mid-table kind of managers like Graham Potter. And then after Graham Potter, I thought, okay, now finally there'll be some light at the end of the tunnel. We might get someone, good and competent. And then we got Frank Lampard. And we've gotten worse. We've gotten even worse than Graham Potter. Now I'm thinking, hindsight, had we been told as fans that, hey guys, you're about to get Frank Lampard after Graham Potter because there is no contingency plan, I would have said, you know what, just keep Potter. At least with Potter, I don't think it would be 6 out of 6 losses. Like, it was pretty bad with Potter. But it was never this bad. We're not a football club. We don't know how to play football. We really don't know. Arsenal were just toying with us the entire game. They were toying with us. Second half especially, they couldn't care less anymore in the second half because the job was done. They took mercy on us. This is what Frank Lampard said post-match. Not good enough first half. That's what confirms the result. Much better second half, but not good enough first half. We were too nice to play against in all aspects in the first half. In the second half, we played much more like a team that has a threat up top. In the first half, we were too easy to play against. It's tough because you want to win games, but it's our job. We'll work on it. Look, Frank, you're delusional if you thought in the second half we played much. Like, you have to understand, they did not care anymore. Arsenal did not care. And we were too nice to play. How about, this is the thing I hate about Frank, man. This guy never, ever takes any blame for himself. Never have I heard him say, tactically, I should have had a better setup. You look at the way Arsenal were moving the ball around. You look at the way every time they lost the ball and how quickly they won it back. The only way to deal with that is you've got to somehow maintain the ball. You've got to be able to take the ball away from them and maintain. Who's going to keep the ball for us? Who? Besides Enzo Fernandez, this is why, look at Jorginho. Look how well he played for Arsenal. People used to laugh at us for keeping possession when Thomas Tuchel was around with Jorginho and Kovacic. Yeah, there was a lot of sideways passes, but you can't allow the opposition to have so much of the ball, man. You cannot. We don't have any control. We simply don't have any control of the football match. Even if we want to keep the ball, Thiago Silva is good on the ball. Enzo Fernandez is good on the ball. Like, who else? Kovacic is good on the ball, but Kovacic was poor as well. N'Golo Kante, once again, was just finding himself in different areas. Azpilicueta is not good on the ball. Chilwell, 50-50 sometimes on the ball. Thiago Silva and Enzo Fernandez were probably the two players that you can somehow manufacture to have more control, but it's not enough. It's just not enough. And I don't know whether we do these sort of drills in our training session. I don't know. I don't know what we do in our training sessions, man. I really don't know. I don't know what Frank focuses on. What was going to be the way to combat? The only way to combat the way Arsenal were playing is just have a deep block. Just set up deep. Give them all the possession and go for the counter. But even when we do go for counters, it seems like the counter gets initiated from Kante. And Kante doesn't make the right decisions. Sometimes the counter comes from Sterling, and Sterling mistimes passes. So what was the plan? Who's the outlet? Why didn't we just set up deep block? Why didn't we just play defensive football? What's with the attacking lineup? Even though I'm okay with the attacking lineup, I'm just thinking, Frank goes with Gallagher and Sterling for the last few games and the defensive setup against Brentford and Real Madrid. And then all of a sudden we go with this lineup. What was the thinking? This is what I mean. Even though I liked the lineup this particular game, but what was the thinking? What was the thought process? It probably would have made more sense to have the previous lineup in this game and have a more defensive setup. This is the thing. We don't defend. We don't really attack. What do? I don't see a particular style of, at least when you see someone defend, you go, okay, they're defending now. They're truly defending. They're in a low block. But I don't know what they're doing, man. I really don't know what they're doing. Chelsea have lost more Premier League games since sacking Thomas Tuchel, 12, than they did during his time in charge, 11. That's mad. Look at that. That's actually mad stat. Thomas Tuchel only lost Premier League games since Thomas Tuchel, 12. So we've lost 12 since sacking Thomas Tuchel, and in his entire time in charge, he only lost 11 times. Frank Lampard, the passive nature of our game, you can attribute it to many things. The easy go-to is that they don't care enough. The players care. Look, I don't want to read too much of what Frank has to say. The other thing that I wanted to focus on was what Frank said pre-match as well in regards to João Felix. I don't know if these sort of comments from Frank, it's wise. I get it, you're interim and you're just saying whatever. Being brutally honest, I don't think is the right thing to do at this moment. These players are low in confidence and you're just putting their confidence even lower and lower. Look, all I'm going to say is, can we get Poch announcement soon? I'm getting worried that we're about to fumble that as well. At least with the Poch announcement, we can somewhat feel a bit positive towards next season. Next season, I'm telling you guys, reevaluate properly. Please reevaluate properly, because don't expect top 4. There's a lot of hard work that needs to happen, and our owners, number one, have to fix up their act. The owners need to come up with a statement at the end of the season, addressing the whole nightmare of a season that we've had. It's not good enough for Chelsea Football Club, and it really isn't. 6-match losing streak now. 6-match losing streak. I don't think any of the relegation battlers, the teams in the bottom, have that record right now. We've got Bournemouth next at Stamford Bridge. I kid you not, we're going to lose that. Bournemouth have been putting away teams. And once you lose to Bournemouth, Bournemouth goes ahead. We'll be 13th. Do we actually have a situation where we could get relegated? I hope not. I'm thinking maybe there might be 3-4 points gap, but we've got Nottingham Forest after Bournemouth. I don't know whether we're going to win that either. It's sad. It's sad to see Chelsea like this, man. We're pathetic. We really are pathetic. As I said, can't be smashing the players so much either. They're culpable. They are culpable, but you can clearly see. Today you could clearly see Thiago Silva, Enzo Fernandez. They were just so angry, man. They were just so angry. Enzo Fernandez consistently saying, make a run. No one's making a run. Thiago Silva trying to guide players to be in the right position, and they're not in the right position. These players, they need someone proper to guide them through a match. We don't have that. We don't have that. We have Frank Lampard who wants to talk about just effort, physicality, this, that, the other, and he barely takes any responsibility. And then obviously you saw. I mean, this will end with this. This from Cesc Fabregas, a proper slap. Cesc literally saying that would I have any tactics? If this isn't a slap to Frank Lampard, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. Ladies and gentlemen, yet again another loss. Expected, embarrassed. That's all I can say. Till next time, everyone. Take care. See ya.